Q&A time. This time we're talking about advice. People asked us questions that they want advice on. You know, we're no experts.
Should we ask people for topics if people don't like what we're choosing?
Right. Send in topics. If you don't like what we're talking about, send in what you want to hear us talk about.
I guess we could kind of
Friday.
We could always keep that. We could literally do an AMA every week. Like I do like AMAs.
We could do an AMA every week, and it could literally be about yourselves. It could be advice.
It could be about
advice. This is an advice segment. So you guys commented things you want advice on. This question I saw commented a couple of times, and so I'll just round it up, and I won't read the exact comment. But people want to know how we are so confidently ourselves because we are individuals.
Yeah.
And we are both very different, but we are very confidently ourselves.
Yeah. For me, I'd say it's not all the time. Like, I think I like to try and be as confident as possible, but I don't know, like I've become more confident in my personality because I just know that is me and I'm never changed. Like, I'm not going to change that. And I like how I am, my personality, but confidence on the outside wavers all the time. Like, that's just comes and goes. Sometimes it's high. Sometimes it's really low. It's not always there, which I think is okay.
Yeah, I think that is for most people. I think even the most confident looking people, and I think from my Instagram, people would think I'm super confident all the time. You rolled your eyes a little bit.
I did not.
A little bit you did. Sometimes you don't realize your reactions to me, but that's okay. We're working on it.
I did not roll your eyes. I did not roll my eyes.
Okay.
It was more like I laughed. It was a laugh.
But I mean, I'm not confident like that all the time. Mine also wavers, but also just knowing that people, like, there's some people out there in your life that look at you or talk about you in a way they're like, I wish I was that person. And I'm not saying just us, but like your friends probably think that about you, your family. People look up to you in ways that you don't even know. Like, I know that I look at my friends and family and people in my life where I'm like, I wish I had that aspect. I wish I had that trait for myself. And everyone is so uniquely yourselves that you don't want to be like other people, because then you would just blend in. And everybody is, I just take it as like, I'm myself and I don't want to be like everyone else.
That is a good point. I don't really have any, I don't know. Like, what is the tip there? Like,
I think the tip there is to remind yourself that, and this is so cheesy, but like, you are uniquely you. You look a certain way because two people came together and made you look that way. Like, it's very weird to think about, but I've always wanted to like change things about my face, my nose, or whatever. But I've grown to appreciate it because I'm like, wow, my parents made me. That's really cool. And you're so uniquely yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's like, personality wise, you want to, don't ever like compromise yourself to try and like quote unquote fit in, you know?
Oh no.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot, like, as far as when it comes to us being our own people and things like that, like, we're not adjusting to fit what we think other people want.
Yeah.
Which I think is important.
People, like, in terms of like, oh, I want to like seem cool, or people could read right through that.
Yeah, totally.
And you could tell when somebody is being truly themselves, and that's what people are drawn to. Like, people are not drawn to other people where you could tell that they're not really being themselves.
Definitely.
So, and if you like something, don't be afraid to like it, because there's a million other people out there that like the same thing as you, but maybe you're not your friend group doesn't, but there are millions of other people that do.
Yeah.
So
there was, and you guys haven't heard it yet because it hasn't come on, but that just reminded me of the two girls we played trivia against for Monday. One of them had said that they were like a closeted Harry Potter fan. And I was like, let it out. No need to be a closeted fan.
Honestly, when I was younger, that was me with John Mayer.
Yeah, like.
But then, like, in high school, it's just like, fuck it. Like, John Mayer's sick.
I don't know. I mean, I get why people get embarrassed because some
Yeah.
people are mean and make fun of other people.
People make fun of me
but-
all the time for having the likes of a 14-year-old girl.
Yeah.
I'm not changing them.
And this is terrible advice, but I'll say make fun of them back for something. They probably like something that you think is weird.
Yep.
Right? Like everybody has a little something that nobody agrees with.
Yep.
So I think that you should just like whatever you like because there are millions of other
Squishmallows
people
are
that
made
like
for
the same
small
thing.
children. I love
Yeah.
them.
You are people. There are millions of people out there that are like you. So if you think you're alone in something, it's not true. How advice on feeling lost in your 20s? What do you do to fix it? I think if you're feeling really lost, you got to make a change of some sort. Some sort of usually, and this is from my own experience, I was feeling super lost, and then I was like, what is going on? What is my problem? And then you make a big change, and sometimes that's the answer.
Yeah. I also think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to have everything figured out at a young age. Like, realistically, in your 20s, you have so much more life to live. And I always think of, like, the women we speak to who are older, who have been through a lot, like, who joke and say they didn't know what the fuck they were doing in their 20s. Some say the 30s was the best decade. Some say 40 was. Some say 50. Like, it's just, I think that it's hard. I just think you can't, like, hyper focus on, oh God, I'm 26 and I should have XYZ and I don't have it. And what does that mean? If that is, some of the feelings of why you're feeling a little lost, or like my friendships aren't where they should be, or it's not like it was. I just think we all put so much pressure to have everything figured out, and you can be a little lost for a while.
I think that it comes from, at a young age, people being like, I want to be married and with kids by 25.
Yeah.
And like, we all thought that when we were younger, because
Yeah.
you have no idea when you're 10 years old, because you look at everyone that's older than you as so much older
Right,
than
and
you.
25 seems so old.
Right. It's so old. But then you realize it's not old at all.
Not at
and I think that everybody's still figuring things out as life goes on. Like, I think
Yeah.
our parents still figured things out. Like, I don't think anyone's ever like dead set.
Totally.
So I wouldn't lose your mind about it.
Yeah. Try some new things, maybe.
Yeah.
Like you said, maybe
Like make some sort of change.
Yeah.
Usually if you change something up in some way, the answer's there.
Yeah.
And then you'll feel settled for a little bit, and then it'll probably be changed again.
Yeah.
Advice on just living in New York City in general.
I mean, I love living in New York City. Advice for living in New York City. I think you should see a lot of the city. I think you should walk when it's when it's nice out, but like walk everywhere, go into little shops, go into restaurants. Like, there's just, the city has so much to
Take
offer.
advantage of the food.
Yeah, like the best restaurants.
Take
the
advantage of
best
the food being open really late.
Oh my God. And
That's
I
the
don't
biggest thing when
know.
you go to another city and you're like, it's midnight and you're like, oh, what? There's
Yeah.
no options.
You're like,
Yeah.
I'm so hungry. And
Yeah.
then there's just nothing. New York City is so big for that.
That's why
Yeah.
I heard, like, even like the places that we're going
Yeah.
in Seattle and everything, people are like, not like, just FYI, like things aren't open. Like,
yeah.
I also think just like making sure you hit all the parts of the city, because sometimes you find yourself in one area, but there's so many different parts of the
Totally.
city. So make sure you experience all of it.
Yeah, go to the parks, go sit outside and just people watch for a little while. Like, it's just fun to see all that's going on. And there's so many events and like concerts, jazz clubs, music venues, like so many cool places you can go to see live music, all
Comedy
things like
clubs.
that. Comedy clubs, some of the best comedy in the world. There's just so many things to do.
So much to do.
Yeah. There really is.
And did I do any of it when I lived in the city? Not much.
Yeah.
Because when you're then in the city and then you're in your apartment, you're like, I don't feel like getting up.
Yeah.
That's why I don't love living in the city, and I don't live
Me
in
and
the
Dana
city.
joked about when we lived, because he lives in our building, like, we were like in the best location. Like,
and just
like,
did- yeah.
and me and Dana were like, we're going to regret, like, not doing anything. Like, we
Yeah.
just sat in our apartment.
I think I do more in the city now that I don't live in it, because I
Yeah.
like want to do things. Whereas when I lived in it, I was tired. I just wanted to go to my apartment.
Yeah, there's a good I've Instagram account. It's called Secret NYC, And they just like always post a ton of like really cool things that are happening around the city, or great restaurants, or like like these rooftop bars are now open, all things like that, or underground happenings and all those things, which I think are really fun to see and check out.
Do you think that everyone, this is not advice, but I think it's a funny question.
Oh.
Do you think that everyone is destined to be great, or some of us are just born unlucky? I think that some people are born more talented than others, straight up. Justin Bieber is born with way more talents than
for sure.
us.
100%.
Some people have the ability to achieve more.
Yeah.
They're just born that way.
And it's not like some just have a natural ability. Some you can build and grow. Like you're not just born where it's like, oh, you're shit out of luck. You're not going to have any success because you can't do anything. It's like there's other ways.
You can
and
work
other
at things and get better.
Yeah, that's.
But some people are naturally born
that's a fun
talentless.
question.
How to tell your group of girlfriends they're all bitches?
Oh, oh my God! I'll be honest. That's one of the hardest things.
Honesty is the best policy.
Yeah.
When something is bothering me, I just say it, because there's nothing worse than passive aggressiveness with somebody and people just not saying when something's bothering them. And then you're like, there's something off.
That's me.
Like when I have a problem, I just tell the person I have a problem.
Yeah. I know
that's uncomfortable for people.
That sounds scary though, because it sounds like it's a lot of people.
Well, I wouldn't bring it up like you guys are being bitches, but I'd be like, you guys are making me feel uncomfortable lately.
Yeah.
Is there something, I would propose it as something, is there something I did?
Yeah.
And then see what they say. And maybe, who knows, maybe you didn't do anything wrong, or you don't think you did something wrong, but they may have an idea that you did something wrong, and you had no idea. Sometimes you learn more about yourself that way, being like, oh, I didn't know I made you feel that way. Just propose it as, did I do something wrong to you guys? Because you guys are acting a little off to me.
Yeah. I hate confrontation.
Yeah, you're one of those that doesn't say what's wrong.
No, I'll say what's wrong. It's just like, it's harder in a group, like it's very hard in a group of girlfriends to have those kinds of conversations. Because it doesn't end well a lot of the time.
I would propose it in a way like, did I do something wrong? Rather than call them out immediately.
Yeah.
Because you never
know. And maybe it's different
thinking.
when it's a whole group. I'm always thinking like when there's one person and everyone said like, then the one person is like, turns it on everyone else because you're ganging up on me. And it becomes a disaster.
Here's the last question.
Okay.
How do you make friends as an adult?
Oh.
I think that's everyone's always wondering how you make friends as an adult. I feel like there's a certain age where you just cuts off. You stop making new friends.
How do you make friends in general? Like when you were a kid, it wasn't like, let me make a friend.
School. And that's why I think a lot of my friends come from work, because we're at work all the time. We are at work all the time. And like for me, I didn't go to college. I talk about this all the time. So it's like a lot of my friends come from here.
Yeah. The only new friends that I make are like mutual friends of people that like I haven't met yet.
Yeah.
Friends of friends.
Like that's It's never just a random person.
I really
in
don't
a bar.
remember the last time I met like a random person and then we became friends.
Though, like I'll be walking down the street. It happened to me last night. Well, usually it's more like if a girl walks by and I'm like, in my head like, oh, if I like went up to her, but like I'll be like, oh, they look cool. In some other world, I would be like, oh, like
let's be friends.
Just be friends. But like that, I would never do that.
Yeah.
Some people have the confidence to do that. Some people do not.
Yeah.
I don't.
I got to imagine at a certain point, like it changes when you start to have kids, and then like you just become friends with your kids, like friends' parents, you know?
Right. Or like you move into a house and you make friends with people on the block, your neighbors.
Yeah. Because now, like at this age, I don't really make any new friends besides like people. It's like, oh,
no new friends.
Like, hey, oh my God, hey, like this is blank. I went to college with them. You haven't met them yet. And then it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
New friend. Or I guess like, I mean, but it's just like through work, we meet new people and become friends with them. But like, I think it's very hard to seek out new friends.
Yes.
As an adult.
If you're on the hunt for new friends, probably it's not going to just.
It's
just
gonna
it's gonna fall on your lap.
Yeah.
And that's the best kind of friendship, because if you're forcing a friendship and you know it's forced and you don't enjoy hanging out with them.
You know what I think about? What's the movie? I Love You, Man.
Yeah.
Because he's like, that kind of worked.
Yeah.
Actually, no, but that's a good example of like he was trying to force it, and then he just saw this guy at.
Maybe like if you're, I don't know, maybe if you're at a new job or if you're at work and you find somebody that you have some things in common. I think I'm just describing us becoming friends at work.
Yeah.
It's hard to make friends as an adult, I think.
I think a lot of people become friends with their coworkers.
Definitely.
It's mutual.
Yeah.
You guys have something in common right off the bat.
Yeah, ask them if they like Bella Thorne.
Yeah. Ask them if they like pop culture, and then you might become friends.
Yep.